As you know, at the Land, Water, and Forest Resources Committee, County Board Chairman Hellwig asked me to come up with a list of potential people for a subcommittee on the park model issue. And his sideboards were that it was small, 5 people, and come up with organizations that would be interested in that, instead of actually naming people, let the organizations speak for themselves. So I did email Mr. Bassett and Mr. Hellwig on February 12th my list of who I thought would be important to have on there. And I have the Hayward Vacation and Visitors Bureau, Sawyer County Lakes Forum, LCO, a rep from the Sawyer County Towns Association, and a county rep from the board. I would be there as a moderator, I guess, and if any information is required, to set the room, things like that, but I would not act as a voting member. And that's about it. I've got some ideas on who would probably be, like for LCO, it would probably be Dan Tyrell that would be on that committee. But I don't know if you have to name them. We could certainly send letters out to these groups asking if they'd like to name a representative.
That's probably the way to go. But if you nominate somebody they're not interested, we're right back to budget ground zero.
Let the group pick them. Yep. All right.
Do you like those organizations? Any change or?
Whoa. Yes, Cheryl. What's that?
Can I come up to the microphone?
Yes, that would help.
Cheryl Treeland, and I believe that you have to have more representation from tourism because your entities that you have right now, we have Hayward Lakes VCB, and that's their only tourism entity that you have on it. So 1 out of 5 vote is pro-tourism.
Maybe somebody from economic development and plan committee.
Is there another entity?
Not that I know of.
Would want to keep it up. Odd number too is 5, 7, 11. Mr. Robinson?
My name is Don Robinson. I own Lake Chippewa Campground on the Chippewa Village. And it's my opinion that there really isn't anybody on this committee that I've heard that has much camping experience. I supervised that campground for 15 years for Northern States Power Company, and then I bought it, so I've got 40 years of experience. I think somebody who has some idea of what's going on and why it's going on should be on this committee.
Go ahead, Doctor.
I think a 5-member committee and the ones that have been named is probably a pretty good representation of the community. Because the great bulk of this isn't just about park models. It's about the public interest and what the public interest represents. And the people that you've named there are representative of that. I don't think any of those organizations would present somebody that isn't at least willing to listen to all aspects of it. In 2007, when we had the camping committee and we balanced it equally, which I didn't think was a good idea because what ended up happening was we had no resolution. Mr. Robinson was on that committee too at that time, and so was Cheryl. And we basically come back with there's nothing, we won't do anything except we'll just grandfather the people that are there. So I think that the balance is proper. Cheryl's worth 10 people anyway. So, right, Cheryl?
Yes, Linda.
Linda Zellmer, property owner in Edgewater. I guess I would like to clarify what this discussion is about. I don't think I've ever heard anything that was anti-tourism, and I think that these organizations here represent neutral parties other than you have a tourism bureau supporting tourism. You have a lakes forum looking at the lake impact. But a towns association and the county, a board member, and LCO, they're here to kind of look out for everything. I don't think there's anybody that's anti-tourism, so I hope you guys consider that.
You know, somebody suggested we have a member of the Economic Development Committee, and I think if we have a county board member on it, it would probably be a good idea to get that individual from Economic Development.
I've got just 8. I just have on my list a county rep. Didn't have to be from zoning. Could it be from economic development or wherever?
I think economic development would be a good idea.
Yeah, and we can put that as a caveat, because since it is a subcommittee of the county, Mr. Hellwig does have the right of first refusal on those, so he does appoint those.
We okay with this, guys? Sure. Do we need a motion, or do we do this just off consensus?
I think there should be a motion.
Oh, you troublemaker over there.
I would make a motion, but as to what effect would it be? I know we've had discussion. If I were to make a motion, what should it be?
You could just approve the list that I forwarded to Hal.
And that's 5?
As 5 voting members. You know, these are going to be open meetings. Anybody can come. We'll take everybody's input. But this is not one of those, at least from my perspective, I'm not having one meeting a week for 3 months to talk about how to define park model. We just can't do that. So, you know, we're going to try to keep it short, but get everybody's input. I think that's fair.
Understood. That's my motion.
I'll second it. Is there any other discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
So I will get a letter out to those members. Cheryl, do you know offhand, do you think you would be the representative from Hayward?
I'm president of AZB, but it would depend on when the meetings were, because I'm not going to be here the month of March.
Okay.
So we'd have to see when the meeting, if you could send it out and send when you were planning your meetings at the same time, then we can find the best person to represent us.
Okay. You're not here all in March?
Correct.
Okay. All right, I'll get a letter out to you then anyhow, and we'll try to get something put together as soon as I can. Okay? All right, we'll move on.